And the same day, when the evening was come, he said unto them, let us pass over unto the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him even as he was in the ship. There was with him other little ships. There rose a great storm of wind and beat into the ship, so it was now full. He was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillar. They wakened him and said unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And he rose and rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And there was a great calm. That's enough. Thank you so much. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Help me say, this too shall pass. Thank you so much. There are 33 miracles recorded by the 4 gospel writers. All 4 miracles can be characterized in the 4 different degrees. There's, of course, the rule over nature. There is the removal of demons. There is the restoring of health. And then there is the resurrection from the dead. All of the miracles fall under these categories. And of course, Jesus was and still is a miracle worker. I hear people say, I am looking for a miracle. But you have to be very cautious when you make that statement, because miracles come after a crisis. If you're not ready for the crisis, don't request a miracle. A miracle is something that cannot happen, but it does. Miracles cannot be explained. It's something that God can do because he is who he is. He is sovereign. He can do what he wants to do whenever he get ready to do it. The scene opened by the penman Mark, who was that writer that kept Jesus busy. Whereas Matthew deal with parables, Mark deal with miracles. Parables is something you say. Miracles is something that must be done. Jesus was notorious in speaking, but also in doing. The text said the same day, meaning that Jesus had been extremely busy all day. Jesus had just left Peter's house in Mark 2, where they let a man down through the roof, tore up the roof, and Jesus looked at the man that they were lowering down, but he looked at the ones that brought him down. And Jesus said, because of their faith, your sins are forgiven you. It's amazing how when you have people around you of faith, they can strengthen your walk. It was after he had healed this man that had been paralyzed for such a long time, Jesus continued to teach. He was a notorious teacher, but teaching got Jesus in trouble. Because when the enemies came to stop him from his teaching exposition, they got carried away with his teaching. And they went back and told the authority, never before have we ever heard a man speak like this man. His teaching was so notorious until they put out a rumor that they was going to kill Jesus. It got back to his mother, and she came to one of the teaching settings and sent a message on the inside and said, tell Jesus his mother and brothers are outside, they want to see you. Jesus paused in his teaching and asked the question, who is my mother? Who are my brothers? They said apparently he had lost it. He don't know his own family. And then he paused and said, my mother and brother, they're the ones to do the will of my Father. It was the same day that Jesus saw the need, since he was teaching, to pull his disciples aside and teach them privately what he needed to teach the crowd publicly. You see, the disciples one day would be leading other groups, but it would be difficult for them to teach others how to handle a storm if they had never been in a storm. Too many people try to teach you how to be successful through crisis, and they have never been in a crisis. The best teacher is the one that's been there. The best person can help you get through a situation is somebody that have been in a situation. The disciples had been sitting in his teaching, but they had never experienced a storm in their lives. So Jesus set out in the beginning to teach them how to make it through stormy situations. I want to deviate for a moment and tell you how important it is to just be engaged in a stormy situation. I've shared this with you several times, that man and his wife went to foreign soil. And whenever you go out of the country, you look for things to get into. While they were there, they visited the local souvenir shop, and cruising around in the store, the wife spotted a cup sitting on the top shelf. She just kept admiring the cup walking, but kept looking at that cup. And the husband said, you like that, don't you? Say, yeah, baby, I want to see it closer. The husband said to the store owner, my wife would like to look at the cup on the top shelf. Would you get that for her so she could look at it closer? He pulled the cup down and she started looking at the cup, admiring the cup, fascinated over the cup. And she said, I've never seen a cup this pretty in my life. And while talking to the cup about the cup started talking back to her. The cup said, I have not always been this pretty. At once I was just a lump of clay in the hands of the potter. The potter took me and started shaping me, molding me, configuring me, mashing on me. And while he was mashing, I said to the potter, please leave me alone, sir, you are hurting me. The potter said to the cup, not yet. He kept shaping and molding me till he got me the way he wanted me to be. And then he placed me in the oven of the stove. The cup says to the potter, please, sir, don't do this to me. I'm already so from the mashing. Now you're burning me up in the oven. Please take me out. I can't stand this fire. The potter said to the cup, not yet. Kept me in the oven till I got through baking and browning, and he brought me out and then started putting paint all on me. And I said, listen, sir, I'm so from the mashing. I'm burning from the fire. And now you're suffocating me with this paint. Please don't put this paint on me no more. But the potter looked back at the cup and said, not yet. He brought me out of the oven. And then when he got through painting me, he put me back in the oven again and turned the fire up. And I said, sir, I can't take no more. I'm already so from the mashing. I'm on fire from the heat. And now the paint is suffocating me. And you got me back in the oven. Please take me out. But the potter said to the cup, just by shaking his head, not yet. So then he finally took me out and gave me a mirror. And so I looked at myself. So, oh my God, how could you take a lump of clay and turn it into such a beautiful work of art? How in the world could you do that? The potter started talking to the cup. So I knew I was hurting you when I was massing you. But if I hadn't have massed you and shaped you, you wouldn't have had any shape in your life. So I knew that it was rough on you when I put you in the fire. So, but if I hadn't have put you in the oven, you would crack under pressure. So I knew that when I put paint all on you, there's a little much for you. But if I hadn't put any paint on you, you wouldn't have had any color in your life. God put us through things, not to mess us, but to bless us. Because God wants the best out of us. And I've said many times that God is more concerned about your holiness than he is your happiness. He's more concerned about your character than he is your comfort. And if he gets you holy, you'll be happy. If you get the character right, the comfort will come. He said, same day, when the evening was come, he said, let us pass over unto the other side. Which means, number one, you must eliminate and dismiss the skeptics. If you're going to make it through stormy situations, you got to eliminate and dismiss skeptics. Because how many know you can't take everybody with you? That's a crowd. If you carry them with you too far, they'll do you more harm than good. Because they will always tell you what you can't do. Always tell you, I can't see that. Always talking about, that ain't gonna work for you. I guess what I'm trying to tell you, if you're going to soar with eagles, you can't hang out with turkeys. Preach, Reverend Ray. A turkey will tell you, I can't do that. But an eagle will say, I can fly. Talk to me, somebody. Yeah, you can't be, y'all don't like that. You can't be some birds because geese fly in crowds. But an eagle fly by itself. Some things you gotta go if you have to go by yourself. Dismiss and eliminate skeptics. You need somebody next to you that say, I can do it. You need somebody walking with you and say, God is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all you can ask or think dismiss the skeptics. I think one of the things about Simon Peter, when he got ready to walk water in Matthew 14, he would have walked that water pretty good, but Thomas was on the ship. While he was walking the water, waves leaping, it was Thomas still in the boat said, Peter, watch the wave. Always have somebody that take your eyes off of what it ought to be on. There'll always be somebody tell you, did you see that? Because they're going to always bring the negative and not the positive. Somebody ought to talk to him in this house. Always somebody that's going to have you looking the wrong way. Eliminate, dismiss the skeptics. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him even as he was. I hold that if you're going to take Jesus, take him like he is. Don't try to change Jesus into being something he's not, because he's enough all by himself. They took him even as he was in the ship, and there was with him other little ships. Y'all hear me, don't you? He was in this ship all by himself. Lord have mercy. And the Bible said as they journeyed to the other side, there arose a great storm of wind. The storm came sudden. The storm came sudden. The storm came without a warning. Anybody know storms can come sudden? They don't have to warn you. They just show up. Y'all looking at me strange. Let me just tell you kind of storms. You see, you got all kind of storms now. That's what you call a domestic storm. Domestic storms work like this. You're happy tonight, but fighting in the morning. You leave home loving each other, telling each other how much you love them. I love you, and I love you. I love you, baby, and I love you right back. Baby, I'm in love with you, and I'm in love with you. Leave home that morning, smiling all day. When you come home that evening, open the door, all the furniture gone. The cat meets you at the door. Says she gone. Storms can come sudden. Do I have a witness? Anybody here ever been in a domestic storm? It ain't easy to get through domestic storms. Sometimes you want to get mad. Sometimes you want to get sad. Talk to me. Sometimes you want to get even. Domestic storms ain't easy to deal with. Oh, I'm looking at 2 or 3 in here now. You fought before you got here. You don't want nobody to know about it. I got a witness. See, Satan played his role in trying to divide families because there's strength in unity. Am I here by myself? When people can get along together in a house, they give the devil a fit. But the devil loves to see you fighting and falling out with each other. And the best person that can get under your skin is the one you're in love with. Anybody else can call you anything they want to call you. You ain't gonna pay no attention. But if your spouse just look at you strange, what you look at me like that for? You act like you want to jump me or something. Do I have a witness? I told you this a couple Sundays ago. I'll mention it now and move on. The ladies and men think different. This man went to the doctor and said, "Doc, got a serious problem." "What's wrong, sir?" "My wife got a problem, something wrong with her." "What you mean, what's something wrong?" "Well, doc, she won't cook, she won't clean the house, she won't make up the bed, she won't lay down in the bed with me, she grumble and complain all the time." Doctor said, "Bring her in, let me examine her." Doctor brought her in, and after about 30 minutes, the doctor said, "I found the problem with your wife." I said, "Doc, show me what's wrong." Doc said, "Sir, I can tell you what's." No, Doc, show me what's wrong with my wife." I said, "No, I don't want to show you. I can tell." "No, Doc, show me what's wrong with my wife." Doctor said, "Are you sure?" "Yes, sir, show me." Doctor grabbed the wife, started hugging her, started kissing on her, rubbing his hands all through her hair. And she started getting just as happy and just as proud. Then the doctor said to the man, he said, "Now, sir, she gonna need this 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday." The man said, "Okay, doctor, I can get up here on Monday and Tuesday. The rest of the week I'm going fishing." Domestic storms will happen. But not only that, domestic storms, there are financial storms that can happen overnight. You think you are financially secure, but the least thing happen can take your life savings. You think you have arrived. Matter of fact, you're so secure until you're thinking about retiring from your jobs. "I got enough, I can make it." And something happened right before you walk out of the door. When you look up, your whole life savings is gone. You're too young for Medicare and a little too old for men to care. Do I have a witness? And you look up, you're in a financial storm. Anybody here ever been in a storm? There are health storms that happen. You think you're healthy. You think ain't nothing wrong with you. You just go to the doctor just for a routine physical. But when you go to the doctor, say, "I spotted something that didn't look good," come back in for checkup number 2. And you come back in and all hell break loose. They say, "We're going to have to do emergency surgery on you right now. You're in a health storm." Y'all don't like me in this house. How many know storms will come? But I stop to tell you,